to prayer life, to everything that I need in order for God to get glory beyond this moment. See, because what I'm going through right now is really setting not only me up, but setting the world up for God to get some glory that they will not be able to contain. See, right now, the way we do things, the news is able to cover up what they want to, because many of us are not committed to anything but money. See, but when we take a few minutes and commit to God, you can't cover up what God is about to do. You don't believe me? Let's keep rolling down. The next thing Daniel said was, I am consistent. I am consistently praying in a way that is persistent. I ain't done. I'm not done because you said, are you sorry? I'm not done until you fix it. See, I'm not done because you felt bad. I'm not done until it's fixed. Daniel said, I am not going to stop praying. I'm not going to stop my preparation just because you said you sorry. I'm glad that you're sorry, but let's fix it. See, I'm glad that you feel bad about what you did, but let's fix it. See, it's like when your kid comes home with a bad grade. I'm sorry, got an F. I'm glad that you're sorry, but when you test next week, the way that you show me that you're sorry is through this week of consistent study. It's through this week of making sure that it doesn't happen again. You see, that's how we do things consistently. You've got to be consistent. Many parents wonder why their children are undisciplined. It's because your discipline is inconsistent. Now, ain't nobody gonna clap because you don't want nobody to tell you how to parent. But if I'm just honest with you, you got to be consistent. Otherwise, your children are gonna be a mirror reflection of who you are. If you're inconsistent, they inconsistent. If you read your Bible sometimes, they read their Bible less than sometimes. If you pray sometimes, they pray less than sometimes. Because they don't know what you know, and you knowing what you know don't do it all the time. So why would they do it any of the time? Stop trying to blame other folks for what you are doing to yourself because you refuse to put down the discipline of preparation and become consistent. You will never get to where you want to go unless you become consistent in the person that you are. Not in what you do, but in the person that you are. Understand that there's a big difference between doing something and becoming something. Most of us are doing our job instead of becoming the person who you can count on at the job. Most of us are teaching our children you can do anything instead of teaching them that they can become scholars, that they can become lawyers, that they can become presidents. These are the steps that you need to take in order to become something. See, faith in its very midst says, I am not just doing this because I expect to get something. I'm doing this because I expect to become something. I am expecting to become more than the person that I am today. You don't believe me? That's all right. That's why I got the Bible. Verses 26 through 28. If we look at those verses, what happens is Daniel is about to become, through his 99 problems, what his faith allowed him to be. Watch this. The king said, he sent out a decree. Now mind you, he had already sent out a decree. A decree that said, if anybody petitions anybody except me, that is your reward. In those times when the king sent out a decree, there was no way to rescind that decree. There was no way to take it back. So if I told you getting this whooping, you get this whooping. There's no way to take this whooping back because the king had already ordered that. But what the king could do was add an amendment to it. And what the king did was he sent out an amendment that said, anyone who is worshiping the God of Daniel, you gonna keep doing what you're doing. Why? Because that God is everlasting. Because that God is eternal. Because that God is stronger than any other God. Because that God is everything that he said he was. Because I understand now why Daniel didn't stop praying to him. Why did the king understand? Because when he opened up the lion's den the next morning, Daniel was up in that mud chilling. Daniel wasn't worried pasta? You hungry? Me too. Don't worry about it. The king will be here in a few minutes. You need something to eat? Don't worry about it. It's about 3, 4. How many haters did I have? All of them. Y'all gonna eat good today. Why? Because I understand that who I am is predicated on the faith in who God is. See, Daniel understood. He said, oh, wait a minute. I can not only become a testimony for God, but watch this. The last part of that verse says, and Daniel prospered throughout 2 kings' reigns. See, he not only prospered at the king who saw what happened, but he prospered at the testimony of the king